What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Okie dokie, this is a personal one. This is pretty much the whole reason why I made this channel in the first place, to try and find a way to articulate and illustrate times and situations in my life that I learned an important lesson, whether it's over time or just a one-off moment. And yeah, it usually does make me go, what do you mean? Now I recently wrote this out as a Facebook status, and then it became a piece of writing, and shout out to Rob for the great title he accidentally gave me, which is the title of this video too now. Alright, this takes place a couple of years ago, we'll say roughly 2013-14. I was on the 3rd or 4th year of my wall and floor tiling apprenticeship. I decided to do a school-based apprenticeship, which is a scheme we have here where going to work as an apprentice gets you half of the marks you need to graduate high school. So when the guy came to my high school and was telling everyone about it, I think I was one of the only people that came and took a pamphlet for it, and I just love how the assumptions, what are you gonna do, some hairdressing? Anyways, I digress. I was lucky enough to have my dad as my boss, so I could get away with a little bit more than I would imagine other people would in an apprenticeship. No, get it yourself. But yeah, we're a good team. That's why this situation was so much more frustrating, because we do get along. But he is very, how would I put it? He makes a fish's asshole look loose. He's that tight when it comes to money. Anyway, it took me a bit longer to finish high school because I'd swapped schools and dropped out twice to find a school that could accommodate my schedule, and I think I ended up finding somewhere where I could do classes in the evening and work a particular amount of days, but still, I think I would end up having lessons for 2 days minimum during a week until I finished. And I think that's why I probably didn't notice too much when I wasn't working full weeks, so my pay was not going to be too amazing as it is. Oh, and then becoming 18 and getting to vote and being new to the whole experience and being an apprentice, and old mate, the dickhead Tony, literally lied about everything Abbott having in his campaign. I'm gonna help apprentices. Yeah, gonna help them out by taking away the tool allowance, which was really fucking helpful. I actually did spend it on tools. It was a game changer for me. Yeah, we're gonna take away that and replace it with a loan. Now, I actually had to do this to people. I had to actually have this conversation with fully grown men multiple times. Money you have to pay back. Yes, granted, it's no interest and possibly a larger amount of money than what you could have gotten as a whole total for the tool allowance. But back to my original point, tool allowance, your money. Given to you. You spend it, yours, done. Loan, you have to pay back only when you're earning a certain amount, some people would say. I never saw that anywhere in the fine print or nothing. But besides that, then what? Then you have debt. You just have this 20 grand following you around. It's like, oh yeah. And the government's not going to screw you over for that? Money you have to pay back, money you don't. I can't believe Anyway, I digress again. So that also made me a bit sour. And yeah, hearing stories and just seeing it from trying to buy things myself, and the struggle where I saved the same $1,000 for my first overseas trip 3 times, but then had to use my savings to then live off of in situations where it wasn't too much work and such. And what really would then really piss me off is if I was maybe just doing paperwork or doing a job with air conditioning and less power tools in my face. Not trying to take away from any other profession. Everything seems like it's going to have its shit spots and good spots and stressful things, but what I'm trying to say is if I wasn't in a situation where I was carrying tons of cement up flights of stairs in buckets with just my arms, my piddly little arms, when it's 34 degrees Celsius and 93 degrees Fahrenheit for my American audience. Anyway, when it's that hot and I'm doing that sort of labor and then I'm getting paid enough to pay for entry to one nightclub, maybe the standard groceries to live off of. Hopefully it's not a week where I have any sort of subscriptions come out and, oh yeah, you trying to save? Funny, good one. And I would search it on the internet and ask people at trade school and compare, and he was paying me the legal amount. So it was like, oh well, what's going on here? Why am I literally breaking my back? It got to the point where it didn't make sense to go destroy myself for the reward of still being behind, and then questioning whether I was like being underpaid by my own family member. And it's like, well, what am I gonna do? That's just so many dinners like ruined. And what would really then I think also drill it in was when you'd be getting older and you just want to like hang out and do your own thing, and boomers want to be on your back, and they all have a line of something of their achievement of a purchase, usually at a fairly young age. And I bought this house when I was 21. I was overseas by the time I was 20. I had a car, but that I owned my. It's like, well done, I'm proud of you, I'm jealous, what do you want from me? It certainly made you think about what you meant to value because society says so, and then what you actually then truly find important on like a sentimental level and a materialistic level, I guess. I did. Because if saving is such an impossible thing, you sort of drop off different goals, like the ones higher at the top that are more unreasonable and unthinkable. You're like, well, maybe I could get somewhere if I go for the next option down. Like, just for example, okay, I won't focus on a house. Maybe I can go for a car. Maybe a bike, skateboard, plank of wood. Okay, anyway, I'll get to the punchline. I remember the day, the weather, the job we're doing, and I just finished bringing up like a pallet of 300 by 600 white wall tiles up a flight of stairs, and I asked what my pay was going to be for that week. I think it was nearing the end of it. It was like a Thursday, and he told me, and I did the math to be like, is that right? How many hours? Yeah, that is right. And just for the amount of actual physical effort I put in, because it's not like I would go to work and not do everything to the best of my ability. I take pride in my work. I'm not willing to do anything unless it is pretty much exact. Do it right or don't do it at all. So the amount that I care and the amount of actual physical effort, but the very little amount of pay I would get, that I was going to get, I just like lost it. I was like, nah, not worth it. Put the last box down and just walk off the site and started to walk to a bus stop and go home. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't there. I remember I was upset, so I was crying because I was like, do I quit this? Is this what I want? Because I always would think it would get better once I finish my apprenticeship. I go off by myself, actually make my own cash. Wages suck for a trade. That's how it is. But I felt like used possibly, but unsure, confused, sore, like physically actually sore, my arms, my back, and broke and just annoyed. A lot going on. But my dad actually came to look for me. He was driving past, and I got in the car, and he was angry that I left, understandably. And I remember he asked, what is your problem? And I explained how it was just a waste of time. It didn't add up. Like, it didn't make sense to put that much in for what I received. And yeah, I'd know my worth, so I thought I'd just leave, because I've looked up the legal minimum and I was at that or above that. I did the hours, I did a good job, but still, even someone with like literally no overheads, nothing to worry about, living at home, I could not do things like just pay for a weekend with my friends without having to plan ahead and save up multiple weeks, or like just go pay fees for licensings or passport or something of that nature, or like a quick checkup for my pet at the vet has to be borrowed, or I can't cover it all myself, but I have a job. And it was tense and stressful, and we're yelling, as you do, because he just wants to be at work finishing the job, and I just want to be feeling like I'm actually getting somewhere further than going backwards, even though I'd be breaking my back. And then we had a breakthrough, just off the cuff during the argument. And quote, old man, I don't know what the problem is. I really don't understand. I was earning the same amount when I was on my third year of my apprenticeship, and the penny dropped. That it sunk in then. Even though of all of this already being information, like knowledge I had, just hearing that phrase, that sentence, when he put it like that, was like, Oh, no shit. Because he did his apprenticeship a long time ago. So then even just my natural response was, oh really, Dad? That's nice. Wow. So you got pretty much what I'm getting a week. How much was petrol? How much was a beer? How much was a liter of milk? How much was a pack of cigarettes? And we went quiet. And I think it clicked for him quicker, and just the whole world is fucked. That literally the system's fucked if it's the same. The next generation doing the same thing with everything else that much more expensive, but I'm legally getting paid the right amount, which is the same. Like, yeah, that would have been sweet in the freaking 80s. Oh wow, this is getting long. I should probably wrap this up. Well, yeah, that's how I learnt firsthand, real life, that obviously wages have been stagnant, but inflation of pretty much every consumer good, everything fucking skyrocketed. And I don't beef boomers, that just cause I have no problem with any generation, you're all gravy, baby. I just beef the ones that don't want to even acknowledge the truth. That's about everything. That's just a blanket statement about how that is the reality with wages and the economy. Anyways, remember to subscribe, like, check out other videos. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. Shout out to all 11 of yous. New one. Love you so much, all of yous. You're the best. Help make this my day job. Get it? It's funny. My day job. My day job. Anyways, peace out, guys.